Hi friends, how are you all doing today? Yeah, it's night here in Kuwait and I decided to just, I was strolling around and I decided to share a word with you all. You see, something has been happening of recent in which I don't want to explain it all. So I will be putting it out in form of a story. Only those who are clever enough or those who really understand me will knows what I'm actually trying to bring to the table. All right, me we really get what I'm trying to bring out to you, and I will tag the story as the foolish of the wise. The foolish of the wise. Now let's go. Long time ago, there was a village, and in this village there lived a wise man and a poor farmer. There is scarcity of water in this village. Only the wise man was privileged enough to have a well in which he was selling water out of this well to all the occupants in this village, both the farmer, the chief, anybody living in this village. This wise man was privileged enough to be selling water out of this well, out of his well, to those villagers. On one fateful day, this wise man thought to himself, why a farmer and his children were passing by. This farmer walked towards this wise man and said, "Sir, we want to buy water, and we want something that will last us for 3 days, I and my children and my families, so that I won't have to be coming here every now and then. I'll be buying water from you." All right. This wise man think of using this opportunity like to reap them because he believes he's wise. So he said to himself, why can't I use this opportunity to take money from this poor farmer? After all, I'm wise. Later on, I cannot take back my well from him. Now, this wise man now comes out with this idea, and he told the farmer, today I will only sell you water only today. Tomorrow, come back alone. I have some important discussion to have with you. This poor farmer was so happy that how could he be that fortunate for a wise man to invite him on a table. The next day, this farmer quickly prepared himself to meet the wise man, to know what the wise man has to discuss with him. In the discussion, after the wise man has entertained him, he now asked the farmer, amongst all the villagers, I have chosen you. Amongst all the villagers, I, the wise man, I have chosen you. That is the reason why I want to pour out my mind for you. He said, instead of you coming here every 3 days to be buying water, why can't you buy the whole well? I want to sell you this well so that you and your family can be okay and you won't have to come here every 3 days to be buying water from me. This farmer was so happy. He was so happy to the fact that he had to start prostrating, kneeling down, doing all kind of gesture just to show its utmost joyous to this wise man. This poor man showed a gratitude to the wise man because all his thought was maybe he was so lucky to have found favor in the eyes of the wise man, not knowing the wise man has hidden agenda. The poor man agreed to buy the well from the wise man. The poor man went home, sold all his other belongings just to make sure he was able to avoid the well, because the price in which the wise man placed on the well is huge. So after possessing the well, after 1 month, this farmer was coming again to take water from the well, because now he owns the well, because he has bought it from the wise man. And the wise man came around and stopped him, saying, "What are you doing near my well?" The poor man was surprised and felt astonished that, "Sir, it is not mine. You have sold this to me the last time." The wise man said, "No, no, 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 no. I only sold you this well, not the water inside the well." The poor man was confused of that statement. He really don't understand what the wise man means by, "I only sold you the well, not the water inside the well." But, because he was poor and he seen himself not to be in the standard, in the level of the wise man, he felt overwhelmed. He felt drained. He had to run to meet a judge. Now, the judge had to summon the wise man to know what the problem is. Why did he stop the poor man from accessing the water in the well? Insofar, he was the one that sold the well to the poor man. On getting to the court, the wise man was still boasting, full of boldness, full like, "It is me. I have the intelligence. I'm brained. I have what it takes for me to win the case." Now, the judge now faced the poor man, asking him to explain all that surrounds about the getting of well from the wise man. This poor man, with a godly mind, explained the whole story, how he was unable to sold all his other properties to make sure he was unable to purchase this well from this wise man without adding any lie. He said the whole truth. And the judge turned to the wise man, asking him, "Wise man, is it true that you are the one that sold this well to this farmer, and not what the farmer has been saying since morning? Are you aware of that and acknowledge it?" The wise man said, "Yes, it is truly I sold out my well to the poor man, but I only sold out my well, not the water in the well." The judge was shocked to hear that you only sold well to the farmer, not the water therein. The wise man was still bragging, telling the judge that he knows what he's doing and he has the right to not to give access to the poor man to his water, to the water inside the well. Now, the judge now give his verdict and his judgment, telling the wise man that you only have two options. It's either you move out all your water in the well, or you start paying the poor man, which is the farmer, because you can't be storing water in someone else's well. Guys, at this junction, I want you all to listen carefully to the judgment of the judge. He said, after listening to the both parties, he said, "You, the wise man, truthfully you have sold out your well to the poor man, and you acknowledge that." And said, "From now, it's either you drawn out all your water from the well, or you start paying the poor, or you start paying the farmers, because you can't be storing your water in someone else's well." Hearing this, the wise man feel ashamed and embarrassed. He feel down to himself that his own sword, he has stamped himself with his own sword. And truthfully, if we are to look at it, there's no how the wise man can move all the waters in the well, firstly. And secondly, there's no how the wise man will start paying the farmers for helping him to safeguard his water from the well. Guys, I hope we all enjoy this story. Now, the moral of this lesson is that we should not always think we are the only wise man in the room. I take that again. We should not always think we are the only wise man in the room, because what you are thinking to use as instruments, to use as a sword against someone else, you really cannot tell the angle at which that person will cast out to you. At this junction, this is not just a story or a parable. I just decide to explain something to you, my audience, in form of a story. But I really don't want, as well, I don't want to explain everything in full details. That is why I bring it out in form of story. So guys, I want you to listen to this over and over again. I said to you that don't be so wise to yourself towards others. Don't be so wise to yourself towards others. Alright guys, at this moment I want to appreciate each and every one of you who took your time to listen to the story of mine. See you again. Bye.